Hello and welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Natasha, and if you're returning, thanks for coming back. Today I'm sharing with you some of these natural wreaths that I made for our front door. Now, I started this project a little while ago and I'm so sad that I left it until now because it has given me so much joy to color in our front door a little bit. A dark alley staircase up to our front door, which is lovely. We love where we live, but it is a bit darker in there, and you know, with the season change and the shorter days, it's just nice to come up those steps and have something a little bit more happy meeting you at the top of the stairs. And so it is so worthwhile to make a wreath for your door. And of course you can easily go buy one, but it is so nice to be creative and make your own. And you can do this so easily with just things that you find all around nature or from your garden if you've got any items that dried well. And I'm going to give you some ideas so that you can kind of pick and choose from whatever one of these and DIY your own wreath for your front door. Let me show you some of these examples and then you can get some inspiration for what you can make for your front door. So the first step to making a wreath, of course, is to start with the base. Our landlords actually trimmed their grapevines at the end of the summer, and so they just made a pile of all of the branches from the grapevines. And so I grabbed some of those, and they're actually perfect for this because they're quite easy to bend and they don't break that easily, and they're, you know, kind of supple and soft, which is perfect for trying to manipulate it into a circle. And then I can also sort of tuck the branches into one another so that it actually holds its form. So if you know anyone or have anybody with fine grapevines close by you, that's the perfect material to use. Otherwise you can just purchase a base somewhere. And if I can find one on Amazon, I'll link it down below and you can grab that as your base. Now the three types of wreaths that I decided to make is intentional to kind of take us through the fall season into the winter, of course Christmas, and then in that last little winter season where we've got just the cool days but waiting for spring to come. And so I'm starting off with a beautiful fall wreath, which is some leftover dried goods from our garden. Now you can use whatever you have. If you don't have a garden, you can pick up some leaves that are falling off of the trees all around. There's also some beautiful greenery and colorful bushes this time of the year, so you can grab a lot of natural elements and tuck it into this wreath. Now what I've got here from our garden is some safflowers, some bunny tails, and then I don't really know what these grassy things are. I don't remember their name, but just some other kind of grassy material that was in the garden that dried well. And then I also have a carrot seed pod, which is just this massive flower that the carrot makes kind of in the middle of the summer when the cool season is past, and it goes to seed. It makes this beautiful white flower, but it dries like this. Just for this wreath, of course, I'm going for that fall dried flowers kind of feel, and so I just stuck with one at the top, and dainty little grassy bushes with these safflowers, which dried really well. The outcome, and it looks beautiful in our front door, and I just love the look of it, and we still have it up right now. What a lovely sight to see as we come up our stairs. Now the next wreath I have is a natural dried eucalyptus wreath, which I actually made from eucalyptus that I got from someone this past summer. I attended a conference on a small island where this lady lived that has a massive tree of this beautiful eucalyptus, and she let me take some of it and I dried it for this purpose. So it looks beautiful. It was a garland earlier this year. I thought that would be a great way to dry it, having the eucalyptus branches kind of hanging downward to dry in their shape. Well, that worked really well, and then now I shaped it into this beautiful wreath. Now with this eucalyptus, the branches are a bit firmer, so they're a bit difficult to shape, but luckily this type of eucalyptus really holds its shape in the way that it kind of flows naturally in one direction, so I was able to sort of keep a flow. But there are other eucalyptus types that have very hard branches and leaves, so it may not be all that easy to shape into a garland, but you can see what you can come right with. It may actually be a good idea to shape the eucalyptus wreath while the eucalyptus is still kind of soft and fresh, so that it dries this way. That's another suggestion. And if you're wondering where to get eucalyptus, because it may not be that easy to get your hands on it, or it's quite expensive in our stores, you could keep any bouquets or gifts that people give you with eucalyptus in it, because I don't know about you, but well, for us, eucalyptus is quite a regular addition to bouquets, so if someone gives you flowers, you could keep some of those things, especially if it's got eucalyptus, and then you can make a eucalyptus wreath from that. that is a beautiful wreath to have, and I plan to use it at the end of our winter season when Christmas is over, to just kind of hold out for the rest of the winter until we make it into spring and I can make a spring and summer wreath. And then of course the Christmas wreath, which there are beautiful ones out there, and I love the lush greenery look of wreaths that you can buy from the store, or that you can even make if you've got any trees around you with some luscious green. The only trouble with that is when you have a fresh garland wreath like that, it drops a lot of its greens. And so while it's beautiful, it does have a little bit of maintenance. You gotta clean it regularly. But this year I saw the hollyhock and I thought, man, I just love these little red berries that it has with the bold green leaves, and I actually have had these for a couple of weeks, maybe even months. When we cleaned out our last garden tour, they were at the green waste site where we dropped off our green waste, and so I grabbed a couple of branches there. So it must definitely have been a couple of weeks, up to a month by now, and they have really held up their end. They still look beautiful. The color is still really bold in the green. The berries have slightly dried out, but they've held their red, which is gorgeous. And this, out of all of the branches, just shapes the easiest into a garland. It was no trouble at all to sort of shape it into the circle and then fold the branches over top of each other, and they held in really, really nicely, and I only had to glue gun here or there. I'm so glad that I finally decided to make a wreath for our front door. You can use any kind of natural elements from the trees around you, the bushes, the flowers, the leaves. If you've got a garden or you know someone with a garden, you can use any of their kind of dried leftover goods at the end of the fall season. And then of course, if you get any kind of gifts like a bouquet, you can keep those flowers and greenery and save them for a wreath in your future. So easy to make, and I bet you don't even need to use plants. Besides having some plants that are out there come a little closer and live by us on our front door. Well, thank you so much for watching, and if you like content like this, please stick around. You can usually find me in the kitchen or out in the garden when it's a bit warmer, or out preparing for a trip, going camping, or on a sailboat, things like that, getting creative around the home. So if you're interested in that, please stick around and subscribe. Like this video if it's been helpful to you at all, and we'd love to have you catch some of the upcoming